What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode. So if you have not tuned in, please go back, listen to all the greatness that we talked about. So on Monday, we discussed Mr. Cooper and how they have a class action lawsuit already brewing. On Tuesday, we talked about Long Beach, California, how they had to turn the IT systems off after a cyber attack. And then on Wednesday, we talk about, or we discuss how the Clorox CISO recently either resigned or was fired after a breach back in August. So we kind of discuss our speculation of what happened there. And then Thursday, if I get clearance right, so again, behind the scenes, after I record an episode, Ask CISSP, I got to make sure the person's cool with it before I post it. So either it'd be this week or it'd be next week, but probably the week that you're listening to this, I already did it with Dr. Joseph J. Burt-Miller Jr. Really good conversation. So we talk about all the things, right? His experience, his background, Air Force. So he's HVAC. So it's very interesting. So from HVAC to cybersecurity to now a doctor within the field, right? Like we go through the full gamut, what motivates him, and then we talk about what he does off of work as well. So we dive into that, and he has a bunch of initiatives that I think are pretty cool, which will be in the description for that episode, and then I'll probably share them out throughout the rest of the week as well. But that's what I got going on that, and then this is everything else. So without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
It was a good week, man. So you actually put me onto this. This first thing I'm going to mention was Blue Beetle. I thought it was coming out. I thought it was going to get released in December, but you had mentioned that you were watching it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I went and watched it, and I liked it. And I know we may feel a little differently on this, right? Bless you. I know we feel a little differently on this, but like I thought it was pretty good because like Levon was actually the first of us to see it, right? Like
Yeah, he saw it on the big screen.
Yeah, and he was like, man, it was actually kind of good, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like I've seen the trailers, and I'm usually very good. Like for me, and you know what I mean. Like when I see a trailer, I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna do it for me. You know what I mean? So when he said it was good, I was like, okay. And then some other people that have seen it were like, man, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? They were like, it was better than I thought. And I was like, all right, let me check it out. And I did, and it actually was. So I could see them going forward with this, like the way this played out, and just making a series out of this, like not a series, but multiple movies, right?
Right. Like keep him in the new universe.
Yeah, and he's a young actor, right? Like that's kind of the thing. Like the young actors, going forward to do this for 10 years type thing. That's kind of what they want to keep with. But it was actually pretty good. So I liked that. So for everybody out there, Blue Beetle, give it a shot. Even if you're not necessarily interested, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. What was the other thing? Invincible. So Invincible, watch that. Man, the action scenes are always good in it, right? And I'm always down for them, but like it seems like it was a little less for the last two episodes that I watched, episode 2 and 3. It seems a little less, but when they did get to it, it was just kind of like, oh man, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a big payoff, though. I think they're doing a lot of exposition up front because like the back half is going to be wild.
That's what I hope. And the way the third episode ended, like, yeah, like we're gonna get there. You know what I mean? Although the third one seemed to be a two-parter because they had credits like kind of in the middle of it. I thought, like
because it was Allen episode and then it was Invincible episode. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Because it threw me off too. I was like, oh, it's already over.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, this is supposed to be at least 50 minutes. And like when I like just stopped it real quick to look at it, it was like 23 minutes or something like that. I was like, what? I was like, am I just not seeing this right? And then it continued the way. But even the Allen storyline was a little interesting, right? Like I was like, man, I don't get that, right? Because especially from the first season coming to now, like I know what he's supposed to do. So the way that one went, I was like, okay, we'll see what comes of that. I don't think that really is, but
it's definitely a cliffhanger. I like right off the bat, as soon as they do the first chord, right? He's not instrument, but the first time he opened his mouth, I was Optimus Prime.
Yes,
because that's our childhood, right? Like as soon as he opened his mouth, it's Optimus Prime.
Yep. Like immediately, like it's a distinguishable voice. Like when you heard,
Like I don't know how a human being makes that voice. That's his speaking voice.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yep. That is Optimus, yeah. Like immediately, and like some of these, when you hear them, I'm like, I know who that is, right?
Yeah,
You know it instantly. But then others, I'm like, I got a pretty good idea, and I'll go to IMDb, like, yep, that's
yeah.
what I thought
Because
it
Jay
was.
Farrell was in it, and I didn't pick up on it. I was like, who is he? I don't hear the voice.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah. As soon as Optimus, that's his name now. His name's Optimus Prime.
his name is
If no
Optimus.
matter what, no matter
Not,
what he does.
it's not Frank Cullen, Frank Color or something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah,
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 Optimus. Yep.
yeah. Optimus is his name, though. It's what it is, man. It's an honor. He may not think so that people don't know his name, but like I assure you, like we
Yeah.
say it with love in our heart. You
Yeah.
know.
I'm like, how old is this guy though? Like, because he's everyone's childhood uh cartoon character
Yeah.
forever. Like, because if you I think if you watch through the credits, um Robert Kirkman talks at the end of it. I believe that's on the Amazon. I don't think I went somewhere else to watch that. I think if you watch it all the way through, he'll talk at the end of it. But he brings up that he was like, yeah, this is like my child. He was like, I tried not to fanboy out too much, but like this is my guy from childhood.
Who is this is talking? I thought Rogan.
Robert Kirkman, the guy who made the comic.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, I thought Rogan was the Seth Rogen was the producer, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But Robert Kirkman is the Walking Dead, Invincible, so many different comic books. Like
Yeah.
they turn all his stuff into something animated or something on TV.
So he's rolling in it. Good for
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah.
Good for him. No, I didn't see that, but like I always now I fast forward through credits just to
Mhm.
see if there's something else afterwards, right? Like Marvel has made me do this. Like
Oh yeah.
I think everything has an after credit, right? You know what I mean? Which in this one, I mean, there is another scene after it, if I remember correctly, though. But like then the credits roll again. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, no, it's a good series. But yeah, they are doing more exposition and whatnot. Like I'm seeing less. I'm like, I was all this love story stuff. Like I don't need this. Like cut somebody's head off.
They
Cut
had
some.
two. They had two up stories
Yeah, yeah,
before the violence erupted.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, but no, it's a good series. And like I said, like we talked about this offline. Like the cliffhanger for 3, I picked up on it seconds before it happened.
Yeah, I didn't. It took me by surprise.
Yeah. So I was just like, I know what this is going to be. So, but
Yeah.
for everybody out there, Invincible on Prime, good series. Um, what else did I watch? Watch my Ravens on Thursday night. Do
There you
that
go.
work.
Congratulations.
I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We took care of it. We took care of it for you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, right? Like I prefer to beat them with Joe Burrow in there because then any
Right.
Cincinnati fans I come across, they're like, "Oh, we didn't have Joe Burrow." I'll be like, "Well, we should have beat him with him. It doesn't matter. An L is an L. Take that. Go sit down. You
Yeah.
know, at the bottom of the division. You know what I'm saying? But um, so did that. Man, I started watching Elementary again. Like I don't know what it is about that show. Like I love it. Like I love the Sherlock Holmes stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Elementary is one that I'm like, man, I'll watch this again. You know what I mean? Just and it's cool because I mean, like they have stories that can go throughout the season. Like there may be something they're tracking, but each episode is its own story, right? It's a different case
Okay.
every episode, but it's a good series, and I got back to watching that again. And it's one of those things like if I just want to like sit down and relax and just have about a bit of background noise, while I nap, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where I'm not missing anything new, right? Like I've already seen it. If I want to go back and watch it again, I can. But yeah, I did some of that. Let's see, I actually turned Madden on again too, man, after football. Like I was in a good mood. I was like, oh, let me get back into Madden, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, it pisses me off. This is why I stopped
I need to
playing.
pick it back up.
Yeah.
I've not engaged in several months. I knew that was gonna be it though. Like I knew I was gonna buy it. I just bought it because Josh Allen was on the cover. I knew I
Yeah.
was gonna play it.
But when you sent that one in the group, man, was it the turnover edition or whatever? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I had to send out to other people. I had to send out to other people. I was like, check this out, man. Like it's funny.
Yeah, my boy, I don't know what's going on. He is just not in sync. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like
Trying too
now we got
hard.
rid of it. Hmm?
He's trying too hard.
I think
Like
he's
he's
trying
trying to do
he's
it all by
he's
himself.
trying yeah, he's trying too hard to be uh a gunslinger, right? Like he has an arm. We get it. He also has legs and he's a tank. Sometimes you have to run it too.
Like I think no, I think I well, yeah, he is. Like he definitely has an arm.
Like I don't want to see him get hit too many times, but there was a few times where he threw it down there. He didn't have to. He could have used his legs, or he could have just threw it out. Like, because the end result is it's an informal, punt at that point when you throw it
Right.
50 yards down the field just to turn over anyway. Like we could have just punted that away. So you might as well just thrown it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
get a punter some love. Let him do his thing. Um,
They're paid
but
too, right? Punters get paid too.
yeah, yeah. But again, like I think he's trying to be too much of like I think that the thing is people are saying that he's not uh as great of a quarterback as he is maybe behind the scenes or whatever. Like so he feels pressured to throw those beautiful passes or whatever. Like he doesn't want to be just a running QB. But hey, if you have the most rush yards on the field, it's still a W. I don't care. So like make it happen. Like just don't take unnecessary hits. Like slide down there. Like get your yardage, slide. Let's pick it back up.
I don't know, man. I think he just like he panics too quickly. Like they don't have to get behind by a lot. Like it's 60 minutes in the game, and it's more time than what you think it is when you're playing the game, right? So if they get behind by a little bit, all of a sudden he's like, I need the home run, right? Like he's not like it. Like here's the thing. If you rush for 3 yards at a time for every rush, if you average 3 yards, you will get a first down after four downs, right? Like
Yeah.
it'll be fourth and one, right? If you average three, you'll get a first down, right? Like if you just do that, but he's not for that. He's like, if y'all get down by three, he's like, okay, I got to get seven. I think that's his thing. I think that's why he's
Mm,
like putting it down there like that. Like it's been what I've noticed with a few games I've seen. I'm like, Josh, you ain't got to do all that yet. You know what I mean? Like
right.
you can hold off on that. But no, I still think he's a good quarterback, right? Like he didn't do that for the few years that he did as a fluke. Like if it was a fluke, I'd say 1 year and then that was it, right? But it's been more than 1 year, right?
Yeah.
And again, new offensive coordinator, right? Like Ken Dorsey, which y'all just fired. So y'all just fired the offensive coordinator. So different coordinator probably has different philosophy on how he does things, right? But I don't know. Give us some time. Dayball may be back because the Giants are looking terrible. Like they may get rid of
You think
him.
so? You think he would come back?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
let's say I think he would cool
It,
off for a while. That because that would be the demotion.
It is, but like you have several head coaches that go back to what got them the jobs in the first place. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Head coaches that were defensive coordinators, they get a head coaching job, get fired, they go back to being a DC. You
yeah,
know what
because
I mean?
I'll take him back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if it does happen, and here's the thing: like if the Giants do fire Dayball, I think it would be unfair because of all the injuries that they've had, right? Like it's just they're down on their third quarterback. Like what do you expect him to do, right?
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley was out for 3-4 weeks. Like I don't know what you expected out of this man with what he has right now, but um. I think he would come back. I think he would. I didn't see anything saying he left on a bad note or anything or on a sour note. Like
No, he just had opportunity.
yeah, like
Yeah.
and a head coaching opportunity. There's only 32 of those. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
for him, like any OC that gets the opportunity or any coordinator that gets the opportunity or even position coaches, right? Like if you get that opportunity to take that next step up, you do it. And again, I don't think it was with ill will that he left, right? Maybe they didn't have a good relationship, but if I'd imagine if he didn't have a good relationship leaving there, it would have leaked by now. It's been 2 years, right? So I don't think that's the case. And Josh Allen would probably love to have him back. He'd be like, yes, come back, Brian. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
we'll see. But no, man, like that's been kind of it. When it comes to like TV watching, video game and stuff like that. Last week I tried to make up for it, right? I was like, okay, I got to get it in because like every week I'm like, oh man, didn't get a chance to, but and I sat down and I purposely said I want to watch this, that, and the third, and made it happen. But yeah, that's been about the gist of it for me, man. How about you?
I actually got it in a lot this week. So I watched Blue Beetle last night though. Um, I liked all the characters. So I like the family. I like how they brought in a lot of the culture, right? I think like representation matters, especially in good storytelling. Um, I liked all that stuff. I don't like Blue Beetle. I don't think. Like I like the actor. I thought he was cool. I just don't like the character. Like I didn't know anything about it until the Justice League fighting games, right? I didn't even know who Blue Beetle was. I'm not as big of a DC fan as I am a Marvel fan. But I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like I liked everything around it. I think it's an origin story, so the bad guy can't be the biggest bad guy, right? Like he has to have something in there, right? And I like how they played off of those two characters. But the big bad wasn't bad enough for me, right? And then I just don't like Blue Beetle or his abilities. Just like didn't
You
do
don't
it for
like
me.
you don't like the abilities. The abilities are kind
No,
of
it's
cool.
kind of weird. Like I don't like the
So you
whole
got
scarab thing happening.
so you don't like Green Lantern either, because that's kind of what he does. Like the Blue Beetle's like, I can make anything you want to make, right? It's kind of Green
Yeah, yeah,
Lantern-ish.
you're right. I'm not feeling them either. I think you found the source of it. I just like again, but I did like the family. That gave me Miss Marvel vibes, right? Like introducing the family and like playing off those dynamics. I like how they, they're very loving. They're also very childish, right?
George Lopez was hilarious to me in this.
Yeah, he was really funny. Oh, it was Rudy.
Rudy, Uncle Rudy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I really I liked all that stuff. I don't like the character Blue Beetle for some reason. I don't know. Just didn't do it for me. So I would still give it a B though. I liked everything else. I think everything else was going for it. The like except for like again, like it felt very RoboCop-ish, like the big bad, right? Like that whole paradigm felt very 80s action movie. But it could also be because I got done watching the 80s action movie or 70s
Yeah.
actually.
No, there was the 80s, right? You talking about Running Man, right?
Yeah, no, it was the 70s, wasn't it?
Was it the 70s?
The book came out in the 70s. I think you're right. It was the 80s. It was the 80s, early 80s. It was
Yeah,
like 87 or something like that. I was like four probably when it came out. Didn't I watch that four, but
yeah, yeah.
I've watched it several times since. But yeah, like with the whole chord remind me of Rand, right? The same thing. Like felt very RoboCop-ish, but I didn't care. Like that wasn't the problem I had with it. I just don't like the the hero or his abilities. I don't like Shazam either. I don't maybe I just don't like DC characters. Love Batman.
That's
Growing on
the
Superman,
that's the
not really.
thing. Because like I know you were a Batman fan, right? So that's why I was
Love
like,
Batman.
yeah,
Batman's the only DC character, just him.
I don't know, man. Maybe we are onto something. Maybe it is like a DC hate. Like you got to get to the bottom of this, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like DC so much, but I would give it. I'll give it 8 because I did like everything else. So I think if they do a sequel, if they do keep him in James Gunn's new DCU, right? I think he will be an interesting character to follow. Maybe he'll grow on me because it's like cybernetic and it's like uh, what was it? Was it Guyver? Was that the character? There's so many 80s characters that were half robot, half person. You had RoboCop, you had uh was it I can't pronounce it. Was it Guyver or something like that? But there was a character that was like alien robot got hold of a person.
I am not tracking that. I don't know.
I'll find it. I'll find it, send you a clip. But that was like a big thing when I was a kid. Like they were turning people to alien robots. And that's what Blue Beetle was. But again, all the characters were really good. I like how they focus on the family so much. I liked they actually came to a somewhat of a conclusion, right? Like it kind of it made itself the ability to keep it going, but like this was just a spotlight movie. Like this was a self-contained movie. I thought it was pretty good as well. So we'll see what the future holds for Blue Beetle. But
That is very Blue Beetle-ish. So it's called the Guyver, Guiver, Guyver Bio Booster Armor.
there it is. Yep, yep.
Huh, I'd never heard of this, Ryan. This you
Really?
watch this?
Yep,
89 to 92.
yep,
Okay.
yep. Used to watch it. It was the thing, but that was the theme back then. Like that was the alien robot person thing happening. It's
Yep.
just
Partially sentient. That's
yep.
just like Blue Beetle, man. Wow. Yeah, never heard of
There it
this.
is. Yep. And that show was okay. Again, I didn't really like his powers. I like that. But uh, what else did I watch? I watched The Running Man in 4K on Amazon. I used to watch. I think the last one I watched it was Iraq. So Balad Iraq. I was in charge of morale for that week. I got nothing but Arnold movies. So we watched The Running Man. We watched True Lies. Obviously Predator. Conan the Barbarian. What else did we watch? Like it was just like all Arnold all
Do
the
I have
time.
Eraser in there? I like Eraser. A lot of people don't like Eraser, but I like that one.
I
With
think that was too modern. I think I was all
Marsh.
old.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
was all old ones. I think
Commando.
the newest was Commando. I think the newest was True Lies. That was the newest of his movies. Because
And
that's all they
that
had
was
the
early 90s.
yeah, that's all they had the MWR tent, right? So like if you're
Yeah.
going for a theme, they had some of his classics. But I haven't watched it long enough. Like that was 2005, so right? 2023, what is that? 18 years?
Yep.
So it's been like 18 years since I watched that movie. So it's been long enough where I forgot stuff. So if I'm watching it, like I do remember some of the one-liners, right? You got the Jesse Ventura, you got Jim Brown is in it. Like you just have all it's stacked with people. All one-liners. Everybody had their one-liners in it. But that clip I sent you about the shirt, where he dropped the F-bomb, I don't remember that at all. It had me die. I had to rewind it twice. I was like, what is But and then she went on, like I forgot that the female protagonist, she went on to be in Predator 2. I forgot about that.
Was she?
Yep. She was the female protagonist in that one. So she had a 80s, early 90s run as well. And then what I learned, because I was like, who wrote this story? Because I was like, the Running Man is a book, and I was like, oh yeah, it was Richard Bachman. I did not know the association. I know that was the pseudonym of Stephen King till yesterday. I've been tracking the book and the movie for ages, and I just not made that connection. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it holds up really well. Like if you watch it in 4K, it looked really good. Surprisingly, like I thought it was gonna look real cheesy because it's some cheesy stuff. Like you had like Dino was the dude who sang opera and shot electricity out his hands. That did not look good, but everything else looked pretty good. Like Fireball was Jim Brown's character. Like I highly recommend if you have not watched The Running Man out there, audience, like you're a little bit younger, or it's just been a decade, right? Or four since you've seen it, watch it again. It's actually pretty funny. So what else did I watch? I watched Buying the Block is Mike Epps and his wife have a home repair show on Max. So he bought his childhood block, like a lot of like not all the houses, but a lot like 6 houses on his street where he grew up at, and he's renovating them and making them affordable for people who live in the area. So they started with his house, and now I think that's the episode I watched. They redid his grandma's house, which was the house right next door. Um, really a really cool show. Like I like it. I like the premise. Just the renovating as opposed to gentrifying the block, right? Like just making it nicer for everybody who lives there. I like that a lot. And Mike Epps is still funny, right? Like even when he's just being regular, he's funny. So that's pretty cool. Uh, and then just I like renovation shows. So I definitely would suggest checking that one out.
That's kind of surprising to me because I didn't think Mike Epps had money like that, to be honest with you.
Really?
You're talking about Day Day, right? From Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's always on tour. He's on tour during the show. Like he started the helping renovation. Then he had to go on tour. Like,
Okay.
so I would assume that's where he makes his money, right? Like movies, you make a fair amount of money. Like this is me, a peasant, saying like it's a fair amount of money. They make okay money, but like just like musicians, I think most of the money for comedians comes off tours. He's always on tour.
You're probably right. Actually, he did have a Netflix special not too long ago too, right? So,
Yeah,
and he's on the show. He's on what's the one with Wanda Sykes, Upshaws or something like that.
yeah, yep.
He's on a TV show. So yeah,
Mhm.
you know what? Yeah, he's working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BT keeps the royalty checks coming.
yeah,
They're always playing Friday.
yeah.
He's probably like every time you open the mailbox, his checks fall out.
Assuming Cube is letting it flow. I don't know. That seemed to be the problem with Friday, right? Like Chris Tucker ain't come back because I think his money wasn't right or something like that, right? Was the
Mm.
story.
I,
So
I just don't want him to come back because I just don't want another Friday. Like too many of the cast has passed away. Like you had your shot a decade ago and you didn't take it. So just let these people rest.
well, the only one that's passed away is Debo. Who
And
else?
Pops.
Oh, that's right. Clarence Witherspoon did. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And somebody else passed away. Oh man, who was the other person? There's another character because they did a mural. Like I saw somebody painting a mural of all the people who passed away for Friday. Um, oh man, who was it? It'll come back to me. But it's like three people, at least three people. Are no
Yeah.
longer with us.
I was gonna
Or
say,
whatever.
I know his mom's still around. Maria Horsford, I think is her name. I think she's still around. Um, yeah, I don't know. Okay.
But
Yeah,
uh,
you could bring back Nia Long. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, you think so?
yeah,
You
it'll probably happen. It'll probably happen.
Like now I gotta look it up. Cast that passed away from the Friday.
I mean, the Debo thing is one that they could work it into where he had a little brother or something like that. They'll find some other big dude, be like, yeah, Debo was my brother. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I do what he do. You know what I mean? I take bikes. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do.
right. Oh, I'm crazy. Of course it's the pastor. The
Bernie.
Bernie Mac. I
Yeah,
was like, somebody else big passed away. Who was it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bernie Mac. So yeah, the big those are the big three. But yeah, the list is like this got more real quick, didn't it? You have Bernie Mac, you have uh
Tiny Lister, right? He's
Tiny
on.
Lister. Is this true? Ronaldo Ray passed away 2015. I
Yeah.
didn't know he passed away.
Yep.
Uh you have Yvette Wilson.
Did she pass away? The comedian?
Yep, 2012.
What?
Yeah, she passed away from cancer, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes, because she was on the Parkers. That's right. I
Yep.
remember that. Yes, that is true.
Uh Justin Pierce from Next Friday. He worked in the shop in Pinky's record store with Day Day. He passed in 2000. Obviously John Witherspoon, Jennifer Eccles. It's like 10 people. That's a lot of people passed away.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, AJ Johnson. He passed
No.
away.
Really? The neck and the back guy? My neck
Yeah.
and the back. When did he pass away? See, I ain't even tracking some of these. I was not tracking that.
It doesn't have a year. It says September 6th, so it must be this year or whenever this article was written. But yeah, man, like a lot of that cast is no longer with us. But you got to think that when did the first Friday movie come out?
Man, that was probably like 94. Why am I guessing?
Yeah, I'm googling right now. Is it really
95.
really yeah 95 Jane or yeah April 26, 1995. So that's a long time ago, right? It's been I can't do the math in my head.
That's 28 years. Is that right?
There it is. Yep,
28.
almost 3 decades,
Yeah.
right? So that's a like he had his chance. He did not pull the trigger. So we gotta move on, unfortunately. But first Friday is always gonna be my favorite Friday. Like a lot of people like the second one. Some people like the third one. I don't know who those people are.
Yeah.
Um, like they just progressively got worse. But the one with the tightest budget, like, because they had no budget for the first one. Like there's people you think are extras in the movie who are just people who live on that street.
Really?
Yeah, if you watch the making of, there's one where they're sitting in the car. Remember when they're about to take Smokey out um before all the pigeon coop stuff happened? There's two dudes sitting behind them on the like on the because you know how their grass is on like an embankment.
Yeah.
Like so there's two people sitting there.
Yeah.
They kept asking them to leave. They lived on the street. They're like, no, we live here. Like so they refused to leave, so they just shot them in the film. I guess they probably paid them, right? Because their faces aren't blurred out or whatever. But yeah, they had no budget. And that was the best one,
Wow.
in my personal opinion.
Yeah, you're right. Like
And then as the budget increased, it just like they were still good, but they never hit the mark for me. Like that's a cult classic.
yeah. I mean, it has its moments when it comes to the other ones, right? Like it's even in the second one, like Michael Blackson, where he's at the store and he's like, I can't get jiggy with this. It makes me laugh. Like it makes me laugh. And like it's all of like, maybe 45 seconds.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is this how he was acting all bad? And then he was all yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, no, the third one for sure, I was like, come on. Like this is
Yeah.
crazy.
The diminishing returns, right? But they're all good. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, the first one's a 10, 10 in my personal opinion. I will anytime Friday is on, I will stop what I'm doing to watch it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like because it's randomly on like usually BET or whatever, but like Comedy Central or whatever, like you'll be flipping through channels and Friday's on. Like, well, it's the rest of my afternoon.
I don't know though, but they got to cut so much from it. Like if it's on regular cable, you
That's
know.
true. That makes it funny too, though. Like when they have to dub over the curse words, you're like, that's what you picked?
Yeah. Like it wasn't even as long. Like that dub over wasn't even as long as the mouth was moving. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Terrible. But yeah, yeah. I don't even know how we got here, but excellent movie. So hopefully it's on today because I will watch it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, so I watched The Running Man, and that was excellent. Like very, very 80s, very 80s. But somehow it's still okay.
You're a big
Was
Arnold fan though. Like you love
Arnold,
Arnold stuff.
Stallone, like any action hero from back then, I will watch their stuff.
Yeah.
Like not their new stuff, not so much, but the old classic stuff. I'll watch. I'll watch a Rambo, a Commando. Um, and speaking of Rambo, like I need to watch it again only because the last time I watched Rambo, I got significantly more meaning out of it. Probably back in Iraq, so probably 2005. Because I in my childhood, I remember the second one, the subpar third one. You go back to the first one. The first one has a very deep meaning for veterans, and I did not pick up on that as a kid.
Yeah.
And so as an adult, I was like, "Yo, this is a totally different movie. Like, why are they harassing this veteran? What is happening?" Like, and he's having this flashback because he has PTSD. I'm just like, "Yo, this movie is so much deeper as an adult than it was when I was a kid." Like, I just didn't understand what I was watching. So I was like, I could relate to some of this. This is tragic. He
Just, try,
has to.
just trying to find his friend. Like leave him alone.
That's
You
all he's trying to
know? Like
do.
just trying to
Just
find
let
his.
him go. Let him
Yeah.
go find his friend. And they're like, no, we we're despicable for no reason. Like, why are you this terrible? I don't get it. So then he had to go do his thing. You you put him in a situation. He had to Vietnam you real quick. It's unfortunate. Um, what else did I watch? I watched something else. So Invincible. Yeah, I didn't catch the twist until it happened. I think my brain was shut off because it's obviously that's what's going to happen.
Like here's the thing, right? I think it's because you go long enough and you weren't seeing enough of that. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's bound to come up soon. It's bound to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Try not to
Oh,
be. I know.
right, right. Oh, Rick and Morty. So I know you don't watch it, but Rick and Morty's been kind of meandering for a while, just like telling those side stories, telling the one-offs, like basically broadening the universe. Like, it's like it hasn't really been focused since I would say season three, probably. Like they touch on stuff and then they pull back and they're like, here's something funny. Like they try to take themselves too seriously, or whatever. But like there was a storyline in season two was like that's what got me. With they call it Evil Morty. So like this season has pulled itself back into the the real story, in my opinion, and it's so good. I'm like they surprised me. Like I didn't see it coming. Like I saw it coming from the trailer, but I didn't see how good it was going to be. They actually came to a conclusion on something, and then they opened up more story to come or whatever. And there's just the callbacks. So there's something I want to say probably like season three or season four, I can't remember, but they had to go to a different reality basically. And when they do that, they have people who are them in those realities, but they had to off them. So
That's
they
the first. I think it's the first season, though, isn't it?
well, this one
I
this
never
one was
got
the
that.
this one was the whole. I can't, I'm not giving it away because I can't remember what season it was. So please forgive me, audience. But the whole family had to vacate their reality, so they had to kill them all of themselves in this one, right? So every now and then they'll show the backyard and it has like lumps because where they buried the family at. But it's so dumb. Uh the daughter asked a question. She was like, "So what's different about this one?" He was like, "Not much, but they don't say Parmesan, they say Parmesan or something like that. Like just a one-off quip. Really dumb." And the whole family was like, "Ugh, really? Like it's disgusting. Like why they pronounce it that way?" And then like basically the show ends or whatever. And now in this season, the most current season, they're eating food And she says, "Pass me the Parmesan," and I was like just small little quips like that are hilarious to me because they just went back 4 seasons on me. It just in a one-liner, right? I was like, that's hilarious. Like if you're just not picking up on the show, you'd be like, what does that even mean? Like, why'd she say it like that?
So now I'm curious. Did Rick and Morty have to kill another version of themselves? Because they
They
did it in
kill
the first
they kill
season.
a lot. They kill a lot of themselves.
Okay. Right.
They even have a callback to the Jetsons. It's hilarious. Like because the family winds up killing themselves in a different reality as well. It's like pretty funny. But um yeah, they're murderous. There's a lot of like you'll forget that they killed somebody and then they'll call back to it. You'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like it's terrible. The gray area, they are far from they're off the gray. They're completely black now. Like some of the stuff they be doing, I'm like, yo, that's just like ethically wrong in every way. But they play around with that, so I kind of like it. There's no they like Morty tries to stay in the gray area. Rick does not care. So and it really is just a parody of Back to the Future, like Doc Brown and oh
Marty.
man, yeah, Marty.
Yeah.
Basically, what the show is based on, but just a really dark version of it, right? Like, what if Doc Brown was a raging alcoholic? Then they're like, and go. So so watch that. And then I finished Spider-Man 2 finally. So 100%ed it. Um, so now I'm just like, I don't know what to do with my life. I'll probably go back to Tears of the Kingdom. That's probably what I'll start playing. Because I need to finish that like before the year is out. Like I've had that, I've given enough room to breathe. Now I need to mainline Tears of the Kingdom. So that's probably what I'll wind up doing. Before um what was the other game? Oh, Horizon. Before I start playing Horizon, I'm gonna knock out Zelda.
That's a lot of hours. That's a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
hours.
I'm mainlining Horizon. I'm not like you in your 100 hour epic quest, not me. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. That was the other movie. There it is.
Yeah.
So I watched it. Hilarious. Not my type of movie. I'm not big into fantasy. They did a really good job. I'm not really big into Dungeons and Dragons, not because I'm a nerd, but I'm more of a science fiction nerd than a fantasy nerd, right? So I just that's the household I grew up in was Star Trek primarily, right? So I never really got into Dungeons and Dragons, and then I wasn't really exposed to it until tech school, right? Like when we go to Keesler, like the Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, like you just get the full gamut. I just in my 20s, it just wasn't a thing for me. But this made me want to play a different game called Baldur's Gate 3 that came out, like I was like not hot on it. I was just like, I'm not really gonna play that. It's gonna be a ton of hours, and I'm not gonna finish it because it's very fantasy like. But it's basically a Dungeons and Dragons game. And now that I've watched this movie, I'm like, I could kind of get into that. That's pretty hilarious, actually. So I may try it out if I could fit it in. But yeah, I thought the movie was really good. Really good cast, really good story. I actually did not pick up on what was happening until near the end. Like when they talk about the ship is when I picked up on what was going on. So again, I think my brain's been turned off this whole weekend. Like that was telegraphed from the jump. But I like how every time they told a story, they went and they did a really good job of explaining it. Like especially when they had to go back and talk to people about that battle that happened. I thought that was hilarious. Um, and then what was the other part that I thought was really funny? Oh, the paladin character who popped in for a hot second, took him on that quest to get the helmet. Just their dialogue between him because he's so literal, it was hilarious. He was like, there he is, walking in a straight line, perfectly straight line. I was like, oh, it's a rock. Oh, he just walked over the rock. I thought that was hilarious. So
It,
thank you.
it surprised me. It
Yeah.
surprised me how good it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for putting me on to that one. You and Mike Ware.
Mike Ware, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it too.
Yep.
But he's that big Dungeons and Dragons guy though, right? Like so, like he played Dungeons and Dragons, so like for him, it was definitely on the list if I remember.
Right, right. And he can get into the deeper lore, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
I was very surface level, but it was pretty funny. Like it does make me want to play Baldur's Gate, which is just a D&D game. But It's probably gonna be game of the year. Like the joystick awards just happened and they cleaned up. They said that the team didn't have a chance to sit down. That's how many awards they won for this game. But again, I'm only going that direction because of the hype. Like I would never play a Baldur's Gate game. Like not because I'm because I play Final Fantasy, so I do play RPGs and things of that nature. But this one just seems too big. But it's cleaning up. So the Game Awards are going to be next month, beginning of next month. They probably gonna clean up there too. So at this point, it's becoming a must play. So we'll see how that holds out. And then the last thing, because I know we're going long. GTA 6. You know that the trailer is gonna drop next month?
No, I'm not a big GTA fan.
What?
I know you've bought like
The biggest
yeah,
media
I know.
product to ever exist?
I had a friend try to put me on to, I think it was three, I think, or something like that. Like it's way over
Classic. Like
PlayStation.
three is when it went 3D. So like one and two are top down.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
three is when like that's my high school. I played the hell out of three. Four was enjoyable. Five was amazing. Five has been going on for 10 years. So like whatever they're dropping is going to be the game for the foreseeable future.
It never appealed to me, man. Like I don't know.
Because you bought that action. That's what GTA is. GTA is about that action. San Andreas, Vice City. Nah, Vice
No,
City is my favorite of all time. It's his soundtrack
that's
is
the
just
Miami
amazing.
one, right?
That's yeah. I
Yeah.
want him to go back real bad. Like Liberty City, the parody on New York has been done. Los Santos, that they can go back there. There's still some meat there. But don't go back to New York. Don't go back to Liberty City. Like send me down to Miami again. Like I want to get jiggy with it. All right. That soundtrack was fire. I'm telling you. So we'll see. Like, but I just hope they don't go the online mostly route, right? As a game as a service, because I don't play GTA Online at all. That thing is like a cash cow. Like they're making so much money off of it. It's got so many updates. Like Junior plays it a little bit, um, but I don't want to interact with people as little as possible. Like just give me a self-contained thing. Let me play around with it. So that's why I hope they do, or at least have that. Like if they go full online, I'm gonna be so disappointed. So we'll see,
No,
but not
I
for
mean,
Shannon.
I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure you'll send me the trailer. Like when it comes out, you'll send it. And I'll be like,
I will.
yeah,
I'll
that's
put it in
what I
the
thought
chat.
it was. I'll be
I'll
like,
put it in the chat.
that's what I thought it was. Not for me. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling you, like it just seems like I can see Red Dead not being your thing, but GTA is not your thing. That's crazy.
I have not played it since the third. Like my friend, I was stationed in Florida at the time, and we went to Walmart at midnight when the
Yeah,
game went on sale. You know what I mean? And bought a copy. We brought it back to the house. He played it. I played a little bit. I was like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? But just wasn't for me.
got you. And we'll see what the future holds. So like whatever they're gonna do, like for them, because they've been making this for at least 5 years. Um, whatever they're gonna do is going to push the needle. Like GTA is just that. I don't know. It is the barometer of what the generation is going to be, right? Like I bought the game 3 times because it dropped it in 3 different generations.
Yeah.
That's how long this game's been going on. PS3, I think, yeah, I got a PS3, then I got it for um, Xbox One, and then I got it for PS5. Yep,
Mm.
they got me three. They triple dipped on me. That's why it's the highest grossing media product of all time, Shannon. All right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But we'll see what the future holds. Again, like if they go the full on route, I'm like, you have lost me. I've been there since two. I didn't play one. I never played GTA one, but I played GTA two. You had me.
But here's the thing, though. So, like, are you in the minority though? Because like everybody else wants to
Yeah,
be online doing stuff. You know what I'm
I
saying?
am. I
So,
am. I cannot. I don't know what it is. Like I just don't feel like interacting. Like that's my time. Right? Like I used to be real big into like Halo and Gears and all that stuff, playing with people. But as my skills diminished, just don't really want to interact with them all like that. GTA is different, where you go on heist and stuff like that. But I'd rather play with my friends than with strangers. Um, but even then, like scheduling your time around other people, right? Like, oh, we got to get on. Like, I just get on when I get on. Right? I don't need that type of pressure in my hobbies. So that is the real turnoff for me. Like if I can play those aspects of it by myself, then maybe. Or if it's got like coach co-op where I can me and Junior can hop on the sticks or something like that. But if I have to play with people somewhere else in the world, this is like, man, no thanks.
I understand that. I'm not big on getting online either.
Yeah. But yes, we are the minority in that regard. Like that is the future. Everything is a game of some type of service. Like, it's just the way it is.
Then they're not. I mean, they're not really gearing towards you anymore. Then,
Right.
like now,
The gear
now
towards
their
that
fear,
money.
yeah, now their fear is they're going to lose all those people that are like, this is cool, but I want to do something online, right? And if that's the
Yeah.
majority, you got to appease them, right?
Yeah. Very true. So hopefully they have a campaign in there because the last one was pretty good. I still think the best is Vice City. But that's the debatable who you talk to, right? But yeah, so that was pretty much my week. Um, Hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving holiday, right? Like I know this time can be tough for some people. Hopefully everybody gets to enjoy themselves, spend time with the family, all that good stuff.
Or
Prep
or,
for
or had it,
Christmas.
right? Because by the time this post is
Oh yeah,
done,
this Friday one. Yep, it'll be after. And then you won't hear from us next week. Like you'll get a bunch of throwbacks though. I'll try to make sure that's already set up because I'm going on a much needed vacation. So I will not be producing nothing. So, but yeah, definitely enjoy the holidays. We'll catch you guys back. Hit us up, leave us comments, all that good stuff. I like to respond to those. I know I still got a few hanging out there. I'm trying to catch up. Work has been kind of crazy, but please keep leaving us your feedback. Please rate us on your platform of choice. That helps out a lot. And share us with your nerdy friends. So hit us up. All the websites that go by our name. Give me a person. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe. Stay secure.